So next one is what? Right after right hazards. So what happened in right after right hazards? Right after right hazards means both trying to write the instruction at the same time. Then it will create what? Right after right hazards. Look, right after right hazards may occur if both instruction I and j attempt to modify the same data objects or attempt to write the same data objects. So here instruction I also trying to write the output, at the same time instruction j also trying to write the output. So if in range of instruction I intersection range of instruction j is not equal to null, then it will code what? Right after right hazards. If it is equal to null, then no hazard will be theirs. So this is the diagram of right after right hazards. Listen carefully. And this is what? Output dependency. This is called what? Output dependency, or right after right hazards correspond to output dependency. So why it is called output dependency? Because actually what happened here in real scenario, now after writing the I instruction, then j or second instruction or j has to write, but both are trying to write at the same time. So it will create what? Output dependency, because it is creating output, na? Both are creating output. So in this case it is called what? Output dependency. Okay, so you can easily understand that I am explaining through an example, then you can understand it properly. Assume that there is two instruction, one is the I instruction, another one is j instruction. In I, he is performing the operation, multiplication operation into r1 into r2. So r1 equal to means storing the r1 value in which where r1 and r2 will be multiplied and store in r1. Similarly, second instruction is doing what? r1 plus r2 store in what? r1. So if it will following the sequence means I will be executed first, then j will be executed second, then no problem will there. Okay, assume that. So look, real scenario, what happened here? Now r1 is assigned to r2, r1 into r2, and here what happened? r1 is storing r1 plus r2. So let assume that r1 value is, so let suppose r1 value is 5 and r2 value is 6. So what happen if they are, if in sequential order, then output will be what? 6 into 5 is what? 30. So here this is what? R2 value. So 30 plus 5, so 35 will be the result. Okay, but as if they are following the normal sequential order, then no hazard will be create. So r1 value, finally r1 value will be get what? 35, and r1 value will get what? 35. If there will be any hazards, then what happen? Then what happen means like this. So means 35 into 6. Are you understanding? Or if you are working on right after right, means both r1, this one also trying to write 30 and he also trying to write 35. So it will create problem. Which value will be take? The memory cannot identify, or he will in trouble. So there will be hazards. Look, both are trying to write the same value. He also trying to write the r1 value, he also trying to write the r1 value. So here r1 value is 30, where r1 value is 35. Actually we have to get what? 35, but here confusion will be create. So it will create what? Right after right. Means first let the write r1 or instruction I, then let the write second instruction, this is what? J. Then no problem will be there. But here both I instruction I and both instruction j trying to write into memory. Okay, same variables value. So it will create what? Hazards. Get it, everybody? So let's come to the example. So what happened here? Domain. So let's find the domain and range. So instruction I domain is what? R1 and R2, and j instruction domain is what? R1 and R2, and range of I is what? R1, and range of j is also what? R1. So as for the formula, if will intersect with each other, range of I and range of j, if it is not equal to null, then it will create hazards. If it is equal to null, then it will not create hazards. So let's check there. So Ri intersection Rj is not equal to null. So ri range is what? R1, and rj range is what? R1, and obviously it will create what? R1. If you intersect with each other, then it will create R1. That means it is not equal to null. Not equal to null means what? It is creating hazards. If it is equal to null, then no hazard will be there. Hence there is right after right hazards between I and j. So this is all about your what? This is all about your what? Right after right hazards, because both instruction trying to write the same variables value into the computer memory, and it will create confusion. So it will create a hazards is called right after right hazards. And how can we achieve? If we can stop the instruction j, you will stop the writing of instruction j into memory until instruction I is finishing job, then there will be no hazard will be there. Okay, so this is all about your right after and right hazards. So next come to right after read hazards. So right after read hazards is what? It is just reverse of read after write hazards. Okay, actually right after read hazards not occur not occur normally 4 and 5 phases executions of pipeline, but as you look, but there is a concept right after read hazards. So let go through it. So what happen in right after read hazards? Right after read hazard may occur when j attempt to modify some data object read by I. So what happened? Now here j is trying to modify or writing some data which is read by I. Obviously it will creating the error because he is not following the sequence. Actually what happened here? Now first read I has to be read, after that j can modify the data. Okay, or you can say let write the I first, then j will be read the data. But what happened here? Now j trying to write before reading, after that I is reading. But actually if there will be if j will read after writing the I, then there will be no problem. So let simply don't be confused. Let explain through a simple example. So what happened? Now input of j, or j trying to write the output, at that same time I also reading the input. So they are sharing common elements. So it will create what? Right after read hazards. Look, j is creating output and which is acting as the input of I. Okay, so this is called what? Anti-dependency. This is first one is called what? Read after write is called data dependency, or you can say, look here, read after write is called what? Flow dependency. So normally I is flowing, then j is working. But here what happened? Now j is working, then it is flowing from j to I. That's why it is called anti-dependency. This is called what? Anti-dependency. So let's check through example. So look this example. This is what? Let two instruction is there. One is I instruction and another one is j instruction. In I instruction, add r1 r2, one operation will be there, and another j instruction there will be another operation, mod r2 and r3. So r1 and r2 value will be add, then it will store to r1. After that r2 will then r2 into r3 will be executed. Look here, r1 is executing by using accessing r1 and r2. Are you getting me? So at the same time r2 also accessing by the j instruction. R2 also accessing by the j instruction. So let's find the domain and range. Domain and range. R1 domain of I instruction is r1 and r2. Domain of j instruction is r2 and r3. Output of I instruction is r1. Output of j instruction is what? r2. So let's find the intersection. Domain of instruction I and range of instruction j is not equal to 5. So domain of I is what? r1 and r2. Okay, and the range of j is what? r2. So there is a common element is what? r2, and which is not equal to null. That means it is creating hazards. If it is equal to null, then, or if there is no common element, then you can say no hazards is there. But here is a common element, that is what? r2. Means both instruction and both instruction I and instruction J trying to access the R2 value at the same time. As per this diagram, both instruction I and J trying to accessing the R2 value at the same time, which is creating what? Right after read hazards. Right after read hazards. So if let's finish the I work, then J will be executed, no problem will be there. Are you getting me? Let's finish the I work, then J will be executed, then no problem will be there. Get it? So this is all about your right after read hazards. So let take another example which will clear you about the right after read hazards. So look, this is the example. Here instruction I and instruction 2 is there, or 2 instruction is there. In instruction 1, R1 into R3 is storing in R1, and instruction 2, R4 plus R5 is storing in R2. Let assume that R2 value is 10 and R3 value is 20. So 10 into 20, the output will be 200. After that, if it will execute 30 plus 40, output will be 70. So normal output is what? 270 actual output. If there will be an interrupt, or what happened, already we seen in the diagram that both are trying to accessing the R2 value. Look, so if unfortunately the R2 value, unfortunately this instruction is executed first and R2 value will 70 and it will assign to R2. Then 70 into 20 is what? 1400. So output will be what? 1470. But actually we want the output is what? 270. So it will create what? It will create what? Right after read operation. So look this one. Look the space-time diagram. Suppose there is 4 instruction is there: instruction fetch, instruction decode, instruction execution, and write back to memory. Okay, so when instruction 1 or instruction I, and this is what I2, or you can say J, when instruction I is loaded, so first what happened? The instruction fetch will be there, means R2 and R3 value will be fetched. Then decode will be there, or that operand will be fetched, or you can say OF, this is operand will be fetched. You can write OF means operand value will be fetched. Okay, so when operand value will be fetched means both R2 and R3 value trying to fetch at the same time. What happening here in second instruction? Now he is load the instruction, or instruction fetch execution is there. Okay, here instruction decode or operation fetching is there, where it is fetching the instruction. So maybe look here, R2 and R3 value are already fetched, then he is going to for execution. At the same time he is fetching the R4 and R5 value, executing here, and he is trying to fetching the R4 and R4 value. Maybe the R2 value will be here what, 10 maybe, or 70 maybe come. So it will create what? Problem. So let simply example understand through the through this example. This is 2 instruction. If normal will be there, then 270 will be the output. If any hazard will be created, then 1470 will be the hazard. So generally pipeline who's having 4 or 5 stages were not occurred. Here only row is occurred. So let's find the domain and range. So domain of instruction I1 is what? R2 and R3, and range of instruction I is what? R1, and domain of I2 is what? R4 and R5, and range is what? R2. So you will find the instruction here intersection, then it will get what? R2 is a common element, and which is not equal to null, means there is a common element. So it will create what? Hazards. So this is another example of right after read hazards. So this is all about your pipeline hazards. So what is pipeline? Not all about your pipeline hazards. This is what is pipeline hazard, and this is all about your data hazards. In next video we will discuss about control hazards and structural hazards. So what is pipeline hazards? Pipeline hazards are situations that prevent the next instruction in the instruction stream from executing during its design clock cycle. Okay, and there are three types of hazards are there. One is data hazards are there, control hazards are there, structural hazards are there. And what do you mean by data hazards? Data hazards occurs when data is used before it is ready, or you can say when the read and write of shared variable by different instruction in a pipeline may lead to different results if there is instruction are executed out of order. If there is following sequential order, then no error will be there. If you will not following the sequential error, means R3 will be executed first, then R1 will be executed, then it will create what? Data hazards. And how we can prevent the data hazards? We can prevent the data hazard if we will stop the execution of instruction for some time, or if we will stall the operation for some time, then there will be no hazards. And how many types of data hazards are there? There are three types of data hazards are there: read after write, write after read, and write after write hazards. So this is all about your past lecture number 4. In next video we'll discuss about structural hazard and control hazards. So whatever lecture video I uploaded, please try to solve the assignments and post it to in my WhatsApp, in our WhatsApp group. If any doubts, ask me there. Thank you everybody.